Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Hazeeq, and in this video, we're going to be taking a look at Vechain. I do want to say that I'm not a financial advisor. You should do your own research before investing money into crypto. And if you haven't seen the previous update, make sure to watch that before watching this one. It's going to add a lot of context, obviously. So let's jump straight into the TA. Now, taking a look at the daily chart on TradingView against the USDT, as you can see, we have a Fibonacci retracement, the one that we had on the previous update. So the high was printed in November 2021 and the low was printed in May 2021. And since that high, we obviously have been in this channel down pattern. And the channel down pattern is taking us all the way down to the capitulation target based on the fib here, which is the second fib level at 0.01447. Our initial technical target was the 1.618 as always. Once you lose the swing low that you printed on the Fibonacci retracement, once you start losing that, you typically see a retracement all the way down to the 1.618, which we have done all the way back in June. We had a retracement since into August, and then we started printing another ABC correction, and potentially this C leg that we are in right now is going to take us all the way down to the second fib level or even below that. We also had a support block that we have been retesting multiple times from June till October, and we just managed to lose it with the FTX crash. That freaking Bankman-Fried guy dropped us out of this support block. We retested it as resistance, and down we go further this channel down pattern. Now, the good thing about this pattern is that typically 90% of the time you break to the upside out of a channel down pattern. So potentially, we could even go all the way back down to the support trend line of the channel pattern, which we have retested the last time back in June. Then we had a retracement all the way into the resistance trend line at the end of November. And since then, we've been retracing down. And each time you hit the resistance of the channel down pattern, you had a move all the way down to the support of the channel. For example, you had a resistance touch here, move back down to support. Resistance touch here, move back down to support. Resistance touch here, and guess what? Move back down to support. Now, obviously, this is not guaranteed, but mathematically speaking and historically speaking, this is very probable. And you can take a look at these two Fibonacci retracement levels, specifically the 2.272 and the 2.414. And these two support levels are probably going to be the bottom for Vechain, right? If Bitcoin wants to bottom out, let's say $11,000, I think Vechain could honestly go back down to 0.008.5 or 85, I should say. And from where we are right now, that's going to be another 50% pullback. And from the all-time high, Vechain is already down 94%, and all the way down there, that's going to be 97%, which is pretty normal for altcoins in a bear market, so I wouldn't be too surprised if that happened. So yeah, even though Vechain right now is sitting at a 94% pullback from the all-time high, from these prices here, you can still have a 50% pullback. That's what you need to understand. So I would be targeting the bottom of this channel if we see further moves to the downside, which I think are going to be coming. But dollar cost averaging at these prices is also very smart because we are literally sitting at the prices that we were testing back in December of 2020. And I think that these are good prices to start dollar cost averaging because you're 94% down from the all-time high, and you could be looking at a potential bottom here, the one that we created in November. As you can see, this low that we printed November 20th, and that perfectly aligns with the 2.414 Fibonacci retracement level. So you can see how the Fibonacci aligns with some of these levels. Obviously, that high that we printed in June 2019 also is conveniently around that yellow resistance trend line. So you have to take a look at previous lows and highs to see which levels are good for entry. Now, switching to the daily RSI, as you can see, we have lost our support trend line that we have been retesting since April 2022. And we had this little fake out in May, and then we had a move to the upside, multiple retests since then, the last one in November. And now here we're having a pullback all the way below that support trend line, and potentially we're going to be running into that trend line as resistance right now and retesting it as resistance. So this could, obviously take us all the way back down, but I wouldn't be taking profits here. Even if we see a bounce, it's too risky to sell because Vechain is very oversold right now. So I wouldn't bother with a swing trade at this point. What I would target is the resistance block that we have here. So we've retested this multiple times as resistance in September. We've retested it as resistance in October multiple times. Then once we broke above at the end of October, we had support retests. And with the FTX crash, we went below that, and we still haven't seen the retest of resistance. Potentially, that's what could happen if we see a relief rally sometime in December or even January. So that's what I have here for the RSI on the daily. I do want to switch over to the Binance chart as well. And before we continue, I quickly want to ask you, do you value your privacy? If the answer is yes, then you must take a look at ExpressVPN. ExpressVPN offers you the privacy that you deserve, no activity logs and no connection logs. Your internet provider won't be able to access anything, and anyone using the same open free Wi-Fi in the cafe as you won't be able to do any harm or breach your security. You can use the ExpressVPN application on any device. You can connect it to your PlayStation, or you can even connect it to your router so that anyone who connects is automatically secured. Or if you're looking to access any region-blocked content on your streaming platform, well, ExpressVPN can do that as well. If you're living in the Netherlands and you want to access a TV show that's only available in Japan, well, my friend, you can do that with ExpressVPN. You can use the link down below in the description and get a discounted price along with 3 extra months for free. You can get your money back if you don't like it, but I don't see any reason why you wouldn't like it because we all need the privacy, and in today's age especially. And you can also pay with Bitcoin, so that's a really cool feature as well. And let's get on with the video. Taking a look at the weekly chart, as you can see, we do have the Fibonacci retracement that I showed you in the last video, and we're below the 1.618 target that I gave you at 0.01772, and we've actually wicked below the second fib level, which is the capitulation target at 0.01585. So from that level, you're already up around 4% if you entered. But obviously, this doesn't mean that we're going to see a bounce to the upside. However, I do want to say that we're very overextended from the 20 EMA, and when that happens, you typically see a relief rally, just like the one we saw in August, like the one we saw from September into October and November, and potentially we're going to see something similar in January, where we run into the 20 EMA, which from where we are right now would be around 40% move to the upside, which is pretty good in my opinion. Now here, I was pretty generous with the support block that I gave Vechain. You could say it's a pretty large one, but still, I do think this is the support block I'm going to be targeting for entries, because this is the resistance that we created in August 2020, and this is the support we created in November 2020. So this is the trading range we have in 2020, and we're coming back down to that trading range, and we can obviously retest all of these levels here. You can even add more resistance levels, or I should say support levels based on previous resistance levels. As you can see, you had multiple resistance touches here in 2019. So that's going to be another level below the support block that you could target. That's going to be sitting at 0.00767. And I do think we could go below 1 cent in this bear market. So make no mistake about that. No matter how low your altcoin is, there's always room to drop even more. But once we are in this support block, which we are at the moment, as you can see, we are in a buying we are in the buying zone essentially, because like I said, you're in between this trading range, and there's a good chance that this is where we actually get stuck for quite a while, consolidate and break to the upside into the next bull market in 2024, 2025. So that's regarding the price action. Obviously, the 20 EMA is going to be something we could retest. Also, the blue trend line here is something you could keep in mind for a resistance move. So we retested it in August, in October, or I should say November. And potentially we could do something similar in January where we have a move to the downside. As you can see, multiple touches off of this blue trend line. Maybe you don't see it very well. Let me remove the unnecessary stuff. As you can see, there's the blue trend line, and that is the resistance you could be targeting. Also, you can see the support block that you had here, and you just lost it in November, and you didn't have the exact retest of resistance that you would anticipate. So potentially you could even see a move to the resistance block, and that's around about 24%. And this support block that we had previously was retested multiple times since June till October. That's regarding the weekly chart. Take a look at the stochastic on the weekly, obviously completely oversold. Don't even want to take a look at this. This is a strong buy based on this indicator. Based on the volume, you can see that a lot of selling pressure coming in, and once the bears are selling, smart people are buying, especially if you know that the project is going to do well long term. The weekly RSI here is in the lower area of the RSI, sitting very close to the oversold, generally speaking, and at the index of 33 at the moment. So this is a strong buy right now, but obviously no all in, right? Don't go all in at these prices, man. Never go all in. Always have some spare cash to enter at these black swan events that we could have in the next year. So thank you all for watching. If I missed out anything important on the charts, please let me know down below in the comments section. Feel free to follow me on Twitter. Feel free to check out my Patreon for exclusive podcasts, buy alerts, my portfolio, and you can request technical analysis and videos in there as well. And I'm going to see you in the next one. Goodbye and good night.